today we're going to go through a tutorial of Harper's Quest 2, do a quick adventure, and hopefully show you how to play and just how easy it can be to roll up a quick dungeon crawl using the rules in Harper's Quest 2. So first, what is Harper's Quest 2? It is a solo role-playing game that lets you do a dungeon crawl with really little to no preparation. Creating your quest is part of the game, so I guess in that sense you're doing a little prep work, but it walks you through how to start out, how to build your quest area, gives you tables to create your story hook, go through your character creation, which we'll definitely go through and show. Shows you how to advance your weapons, your spells, treasure, rules for when your character reaches 0, a detailed oracle that will usually help answer any question you might have, what to do when you get in each room, and then when you do enter combat, it has rules for combat, traps, some portions of combat that will cover doubling down and momentum, which are some pretty cool moves you can do during combat to hopefully make the game a little easier. How to create enemies. 3 classes of enemies: underlings, warriors, elites, just like the previous versions of Harper's Quest. Got your boss, how to create the boss detail, how to create their weaknesses, and then a bunch of prompts. So, quest prompts. The game comes with its own adventure pre-made, so you don't need to do any preparation for this one. A D66 room table that will let you get some details about the room you're in. An NPC table that lets you roll their trait, who they are, their stats, and what item they're carrying. And then just a bunch of words. So D100 table for verbs, nouns, adjectives, and unusual words. So that is the game in a nutshell. You can purchase a hard copy from my Big Cartel link in the comments down below, and also you can download a digital copy on my itch page. So I'll have links for all that stuff. But let's get to it. Let's roll up a character and take him through a short little adventure and see how we do. Alright, so I have the character sheet printed out, and creating a character is fairly straightforward. You'll be rolling 4d6 to determine your stats. So let's create the adventure before we create our adventure. Where is my pencil? Alright, I just spent longer than I would care to admit looking for this pencil. And in that time, I decided that I'm just going to go page by page, because that's how the book's laid out. Starting out, so let's find out what this adventure is even going to be. I hope it involves a forest. Well, whatever. We'll see. I got this laid out, but I don't know if we're even going to use it. Okay, what is our goal? Goal is to plunder a frozen hideout for Destiny, who gives us the quest, family, and the boss type is a sorcerer. It's quite the quest. Alright, building a quest area. This is just the number of rooms that you're going to have in our frozen hideout, sorcerer's frozen hideout. I don't know why I rolled 1d6. You roll 2d6, and then you add 1 for the boss room. Alright, we have 10 rooms for our dungeon. I just put them out there, and then the last room is going to be the boss room. Frozen. Let's see, what should we call this? Frozen lair. So I'm just going to go to the unusuals table. 34. Knighthood. The frozen hideout of Clan Knighthood. There we go. Alright. So Clan Knighthood is led by a sorcerer, and they are in the frozen wastelands here. So our character, who we haven't rolled yet, but I'm going to use this metal mini because I just really like the weight of it. And he has a halberd here. So we've already got our weapons, so that's great. And we'll talk about weapons. Alright, we're going to adventure to the frozen Knighthood. Lair of the Knighthood Wizard. Okay, so we've got our quest. We've got our area. It's 10 rooms. Okay, now time to create an adventurer. There's no classes here. You roll all your stats with either 4d6 or 3d6. First thing you roll is your attack ceiling. This is the number that you have to roll at or below to hit your enemies. So hopefully we get a good roll here. 11 plus 5 is 16. That's great. Okay. And we're going to roll up our HP. 11, 13. Alright, now we roll our strength, dexterity, and wisdom. Those are the only 3 stats in the game. These, though, you roll in order. No swapping, just 3d6. It's the luck of the roll here. Wow, that's tremendous. 12. That's a 17. I'm a very strong character. Must be the metal. Dexterity. Not so much. That's a 6. Wisdom. It's for searching, distraction, perception, persuasion. Get there. 10. Alright. Wisdom is also how you cast magic in the game. Money and items. You roll 3d6 times 10 for your starting gold. For us, that's going to be 100 exactly. And you are able to, at the beginning of your quest, roll d12 2 times on the shop, plus 2 healing potions. So you automatically get 2 healing potions, and then you roll a d12 2 times to get your starting items. So we got an 8, which is armor, which gives plus 3 to max HP, but minus 2 dexterity. That doesn't help us. We are very slow, but very strong. 4 dexterity. That's might be some of the worst dexterity I've ever seen in a character here. But we get plus 3 max HP, which brings our max hit points to 16. And let's see what our second item is. 7. Antidote. Cures any status effect. Okay. So we have our character. We've got our stats, our terrible dexterity, our super high strength, our middle wisdom, good attack ceiling, and a good amount of hit points. We are almost ready. Next is just going to be our weapons and magic. For weapons, it's more about the quality. We don't have specific weapons in this game, so you buy either a broken, damaged, repaired, mediocre, new, refined, masterful, or legendary, which costs 50,000 gold. And that dictates your damage. So for us, since we only rolled 100 gold, the best we can buy is a repaired weapon. So our halberd is repaired, which gives us a d6 damage. And it takes our gold to 0. If you want, we do have tables to get a weapon, and roll a d8 and see what you get. Now, when it comes to magic, everybody gets the spell of distraction. This is an unlimited cast spell that you can use to generate a clacking, clanking, wind gust, smoke, something to kind of sneak past people. And then you get 1 additional spell from the spell list, which is a d6. So we got Miasma. A blast of poison gas sweeps outward in front of the caster. Every time you cast a spell in Harper's Quest 2, it is a hit. So if you roll above your wisdom, it's a weak cast. If you roll below your wisdom, it's a successful cast. And if you roll your wisdom exactly, it's an ultra cast, which gives you a superpower, and usually it'll just end the fight right there. You can cast 3 spells a day, or 3 spells a quest, or area, rather. And yeah, I think that is going to do it for our character. So he's super strong and can spray some poison. Treasure comes up after you defeat enemies or if you are searching a specific item. And there's an oracle for that. We'll talk about that. Dying in Harper's Quest 2 lets you choose whether or not you want to die. If you do die, you can surrender to death, which leaves your gold, items, unused heirlooms, and 1 d4 roll for a new heirloom, which we didn't cover. Heirlooms are power-ups that you can get. They're rare, but you can get them in the game. You can get an indigo potion, crimson potion, golden key, or silver key, and they all will either permanently upgrade you or even more, so upgrade your next generation if you do fall during your quest. So a little bit of a choice there. And then as for advancement, you can buy additional stat points with gold. So you can level up your character as you go along. Usually a dungeon will get you anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 gold. And when it comes to death, like I said, you can choose to die after you get reduced to 0 HP, at which point you can leave your items for your next generation, or you can resist death, which permanently reduces your AC, your HP, or any attribute by 1. And you can only resurrect yourself or resist death once per area, and once you resurrect yourself, you're revived with your full hit points. But if you die again in the same quest, you do not get to choose. You're immediately dead, and nothing passes to your next generation. So again, another choice. This game has a lot of choices that will kind of vastly determine what happens, especially in combat too. All right, when we get to the rooms, we'll do the room sequence, but we have the oracle, which has a lot of different options here to roll on. It's all through a d6, and we'll use that obviously when we're moving here. Talk about traps, talk about combat when we get there, talk about doubling down and momentum, creating enemies. Okay. So, before each quest starts, you can create your enemy types. Underlings, warriors, elites, and a boss. So an underling is the weakest enemy, warriors middle, elites the strongest. So for us, an underling in the frozen knighthood lair can probably be Ice Imp. And underlings have 2d6 for their AC, which is their attack ceiling. He has a 9, 1d6 for his hit points, 4, and they do 1d6 damage, which is rolled every single time they hit. It's not a static damage amount. Warriors, 2d6. Okay, what should the warrior be? In here, we'll say, since it's the knighthood, it's a frost knight. They have 2d6 plus 2 armor attack ceiling, so 8 plus 2, 10. 10 AC, 2d6, 7 HP, and they get 1d8 for damage. Elites. Let's go with a Yeti. He's trolling around the cave. Or the manor, whatever you want to call it. He gets 3d6. Easy to see, d6. He has a 9 attack ceiling. Sometimes you can get some pretty weak elites, but usually the hit points make up for it. And they have d10 damage, so 8, 10 hit points, and his damage is a d10. And the boss is the sorcerer. And we'll call him Sorcerer Frieza. Okay, now boss stats are the highest, obviously. 4d6 minus, the lowest for their attack ceiling. 9, 10. Wow, that's a pretty low boss there. That was a lucky roll for us. 4d6 for hit points. 12, and he has a d12 damage. And we can roll a detail for the boss. In the boss weakness, hopefully we will be able to figure that out in the rooms as we gather clues. So the boss details will roll a d8. 4. Armor scales. -2 from melee. -2 damage from melee attacks. Okay. So he's got a spell. And he gets -2 damage from melee attacks. Okay, so we are ready to set out. We've got our enemies filled out there with their stats. We've got our boss. We've got our rooms listed here. Let's get going on our adventure.